Chapter 11. Chris. After 45 minutes of work, my phone goes off, so I pull it out to see a text from Liz.
Blake is so jealous it's funny.
Good.
He keeps trying to talk to Rachel, but she just keeps telling him to leave her alone.
He better. I hate this kid so much. I want to go back up there just to make him leave her alone.
By the way, me and my bestie tell each other everything, as in everything, so Rachel told me about last night.
Smiling emoji. So? Hearing a car pull up, I look up to see my car. Jess is driving my ear light, walking over as she gets out. Why the hell do you have my car? I grit out in a whisper.
Told you he would be pissed,
she says, looking past me, so I turn around. What? You said she can't bring her car, so I figured, why not your car? Josh says, holding his hands up. Because I have already had my Passat over here and my bike. Now this one? What are they going to think seeing me with 3 cars? I grit out, really getting mad. Not as much at the fact that my sister is driving my car, but that they made a plan to bring another one of my cars over here. Damn nice car, Mark says, walking up to Jess. I shake my head, making her sigh. How fast does she go? Mark asks, and Jess looks at me, then says,
I don't really know.
I fucking hate them right now. Please tell me you open her up from time to time at least and don't granny this beautiful thing. Mark laughs, putting his hand on the hood. Can I have a quick ride, please? Mark asks, with a puppy face, to Jessica, who looks at me. It's Chris's car, Dad, Josh says, but it's hard to get mad when Mark's face lights up. You gave my daughter a ride yesterday, so can I have a ride today? He says, as Stacy laughs.
I bet you get in a lot of trouble with this thing.
Some, I answer her.
Don't you care that he has 2 cars?
Jessica asks, as I give her a death glare. Son, do you sell or do drugs? Mark asks, but I shake my head. Do you do anything illegal other than race this baby? He asks, making me laugh. I go to the track. It isn't illegal out there. I do go to street races sometimes, but I never race. I say to him honestly.
I thought you won this car.
Jessica asks. Yes, at the track 3 years ago, I tell her.
I didn't know they raced for pinks out there,
she says, looking confused. Yes, we just didn't tell you because you can't race and you would lose every car you race with. I laugh as she flips me off. Okay, so I don't care how or why you have the car, I just want to ride. Mark says, looking like a kid, making me laugh. I will be having a talk with Max. I whisper to Jessica as I take my keys.
Oh, come off it, you ass. I didn't mess up your precious fucking car,
she says, but I only roll my eyes at her and get in the driver's seat. Starting my car up, I turn on the computer and rev up the motor. Does this car have NOS? Mark asks. Yes, sir, I tell him, pulling out of the yard. We end up going to a back road somewhere about 20 minutes from the house so Mark can really see what my car can do without me going to the track, since there isn't one in this town. I make sure the NOS is off for safety because I never run NOS when anyone else is in the car with me or on the bike with me. This car is nice, Mark laughs, as I gun it. It's a work in progress, that is for sure, I tell him. As I round a corner doing 90, Mark asks again, this car has NOS? Yes, sir, but I don't run it when I have people with me, I tell him. Come on, he says, putting his hands together to beg. Like fast cars, do you? I laugh. Where do you think Rachel gets it from? He says with a smile. Okay, I guess, but it is against my better judgment, I tell him, really not sure. Pulling over, I turn the NOS on and turn on the computer. You do all this yourself? He asks. Yes, sir. This car was stock when I won it 3 years ago, I laugh. Nice, he says with a smile as I pull back on the road. At first, I baby the car, not using the NOS, pushing 95. But in this car, that is babying it. When I get to a straight shot, I hit the gas and NOS, going 160, as Mark laughs. I drift around a corner since I am going too fast to take it normal. After I empty one of the tanks of NOS, I turn it off. At least you know how to drive, Mark laughs as I join. Then he asks me, who taught you to drive? You're looking at him. I laugh, pointing to myself. Kicking it down to 70, I set the cruise to take it slow back to the house. So, can I ask you something? Mark asks, and I'm not sure what to say, so I say nothing. Why do you not want my daughter to know your name? He asks, making my heart drop. Breathing in a deep breath, I answer him. There was this girl I dated a few years back, Brittany. We were friends, and one day when we were, 14, she asked me out. I didn't like her, but said yes anyways. At the time, I didn't understand why she wanted to date me since I wouldn't kiss her. Hell, I wouldn't even hug her. Anyhow, when we were 16, she ended up pregnant. She tried to say the baby was mine, but there was no way. Her and her mom did a fairly good job of running my name in the ground. So I left, but that only made it worse. They said I was running, which I was, but from the bullshit they had made my life. In the end, my brother did a DNA test with Brittany's baby to prove it wasn't mine. I found out she had slept with not only my best friend, but a lot of other guys too. She was only dating me because of my name and money. I pause and take a huge breath. Why the hell am I telling him all this? I go on. I don't tell Rachel because I like her. She is the first girl I have ever liked. I just want real, if that makes sense. Son, first off, I won't force my daughter to date anyone or to not date someone. If I did, she sure as hell wouldn't have been dating Blake. Second thing, Rachel doesn't seem to care much for money. We give her money every week, just like we did Josh until he moved out, but instead of blowing it like Josh did, she buys stuff for the house, Mark tells me. I smile so big, but I'm still scared to tell her. I get where the fear comes from. I'm not saying I like that you hide it from her, but I do understand it, he adds, as we're making it back to town. Looking at his watch, he asks, want to go pick up the girls? I smile at him. Picking up his phone, he makes a call. I can pick up the girls from practice if you want. And he says to the phone, guessing he is talking to one of Liz's parents. To the school, he laughs, making me laugh too. Getting to the school, I go to the field where I dropped Rachel off. They are still practicing, so we set to wait. Only a few minutes go by of us just talking about the car when kids start to walk off the field. They are eyeing my car, but since I have dark tint, they can't see in. I notice Blake get in a car not far from me. He rolls down his window talking to someone, making Mark laugh. I really hate that kid. Me too, I whisper, making him laugh harder. When we see the girls, he rolls down the window and yells at them. As they walk over, both girls look in the car. When Rachel sees me, her face lights up. Turning to me, Mark whispers, I have never seen her light up like that for anyone. Laughing, I whisper, it's probably the car, making Mark shake his head as he gets out to let the girls in. Leaning over, I turn the NOS off as Mark gets in. Pulling out of the school, Blake pulls up next to me and revs the engine of his car, making me laugh. Mark looks at me with a smile. For real? Does he want me to race this kid? Buckle up, girls, Mark says, meaning yes, he does. When the light turns green, I gun it, leaving Blake and his crappy car at the light. Both girls start to laugh, making me smile. Coming up on the road to the house, Mark looks at Rachel and says, "Want to see him drift?" I start to laugh as I gun it, drifting around the corner. When I straighten up, I see Josh, Jess, and Stacy standing in the front yard. Just to show off, I hit the gas and turn the wheel, doing a 180 to park next to the curb facing the opposite direction. Getting out, all four of us are smiling and laughing. Looking at my sister, she has a huge smile on her face as she says,
"Still mad at me?"
I turn to look at Rachel. She isn't by the car. She has walked up the driveway to my bike.
"Still my favorite,"
she yells, making me laugh. Turning back to Jess, I'm about to say yes as Mark walks over, putting his hand on my shoulder. He says, "Thanks for the ride, kid." I smile at him. Okay, maybe not so much. Her dad likes me, I say, then walk over to Rachel. So you don't like my car? I pout, making her laugh.
"I never said I don't like it. I just said the bike is my favorite."
Smiling, I walk inside. The girls go to change as the rest of us go to the back. I notice Josh has started on the deck, so I pick up a board to help. I don't know how much time goes by until the girls walk outside. When Rachel takes her towel off, she drapes it over a chair. I'm not paying attention to where I'm going because, fuck, she is hot. I run into a pile of wood, making Josh and Mark both laugh, so I flip them off. Jessica walks over to me and teases,
"Baby bro, I think you have drool on your chin."
Fuck off, Jess. I grit out, but wipe my chin, making her laugh. When your brain works again, can you bring me that board in your hand? Josh laughs. Fuck all of you, I tease, taking the board to Josh. I'm finding it extremely hard to focus on anything other than the girl in the pool. Putting a screw in a board, I get covered in water. Turning to see who did it, I see Rachel laughing. Really? I say, smiling at her.
"So, since your shirt is wet, can I have it?"
she says with a smile. Laughing, I lean back on my feet, taking my shirt off, handing the shirt to her. She is so red.
"If I ask for the jeans, will you give me those too?"
she whispers. I don't notice Josh behind me until he says, "No, you can't. You aren't going to get him to strip out here." Laughing.
With the way those two tease each other, I don't think she will be a virgin much longer.
Liz teases. Hell, I wouldn't say no to her on that, or anything for that matter.